Greetings from Makesh Maki. Welcome to our channel. Today I am going to deal with the poem All the World's a Stage by William Shakespeare, 12th English, Unit 3, Poem 3. The phrase All the World's a Stage is the beginning of a monologue from William Shakespeare's play As You Like It. These lines are spoken by the character Jax in second act, 7th scene. This poem is taken from the play As You Like It. It is a form of monologue. Monologue is a technique used in drama. It's a long speech or utterance by one character. Here, Jax compares the world into a stage, that is, dramatic stage, and he says, life is a play, life is a drama, human beings are actors. Jax says human beings are just character in the life of drama, and each man has 7 stages in the world during his lifetime. As we know, each species in the world has its own life cycle. For example, butterfly has 4 stages, likewise frog and plasmodium and plants. Here our poet William Shakespeare says human beings come across 7 stages during their lifetime. Here in the poem we are going to see the 7 stages, and also in each stage how the man performs his act. First, let me introduce the biographical sketch of the author. William Shakespeare was an English playwright, poet, and actor. He was born on 26th April 1564. Actually, this is the baptized date of Shakespeare. So some critics say that Shakespeare might born 23rd April 1564 because in England children are baptized after the birth of 3 days. So many critics say his original date of birth 23rd April, but in his baptized record it was recorded 26th April 1564, and he died on 23rd April 1616. And his father John Shakespeare and mother Mary Arden and his wife Annie Hathaway. He had 3 children. Shakespeare was a prolific writer during the Elizabethan and Jacobean ages of British theatre. So what do you mean by prolific? Prolific means productive. Prolific writer means a writer who produces more number of literary works. Thus, Shakespeare produces many works during the time of Elizabeth and Jacob. So, at that time, he was very famous. His plays are perhaps his most enduring legacy, but they are not the only thing he wrote. Apart from his 37 plays, he wrote 154 sonnets and 2 long narrated poems. His plays are perhaps his most enduring. Enduring means everlasting. They are everlasting treasure or heritage. And his poems are very popular even today. His rich and diverse works have spawned countless adaptations across multiple genres and cultures. His variety of works produced many kinds of literary work. His writings have been compiled in various iterations of the complete works of William Shakespeare, which include all the plays, sonnets, and other poems. What do you mean by iterations? Iteration means new version. William Shakespeare continues to be one of the most important literary figures of the English language. He is often called as England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. This is the short biographical sketch of William Shakespeare. Now, let's move on the poem. This poem revolves around the theme man is the ultimate loser in the game of life. So Shakespeare says life is a game. In the game itself, man will be the loser. And he says man plays 7 major roles during his lifetime. They enter into the world through the entrance like birth and exit through death. Now let's enter into the first stanza of the poem. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. First, let us see the meaning of some words. Here, time here refers to lifetime. Parts means characters or roles. Ages means periods of stage. It may be a stage of life, we can say. Mewling means weak noise, sometimes cat. It makes a weak noise, likewise mewling. Puking means vomiting. Okay, look at the poem. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. Shakespeare says, all the world is a stage. This wide world is a stage. Stage means dramatic stage. And all the men and women in the world are only players. They are only players. They have their exits and their entrances. As we witness drama, we can see the characters enter onto the stage with one entrance and they exit through another entrance. Likewise, we come to this world or this world of stage through birth. Birth is our entrance, and we exit from this world through death. So our entrance is birth and our exit is death. Here in the first line, Shakespeare says world is a stage. World is compared to a stage. So here the poet uses indirect comparison, so it is metaphor. And All the men and women are compared to players. Players in the sense drama actors. So men and women are compared to actors. So this is also metaphor. Now in the third line, they refers to people in the world, and exit refers to death, entrance refers to birth. And one man in his time plays many parts. One man during his time. During his time refers to during his lifetime. He plays many parts. He has to take up 7 roles according to Shakespeare. His acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant. Okay, now I'll tell you the 7 stages first. The first stage, infant, and the second stage is schoolboy, and the third, lover, we can say young boy, and the fourth stage is soldier, and the fifth stage is judge. Here Shakespeare says a respected man, and sixth stage is thin old man, and the final or seventh stage is second childhood. At first, the infant mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. In the first stage, man is totally dependent upon his mother, and the infant makes a small weak noise and vomiting in the nurse's arms. Mewling means the small infant, it's making a mewling sound, a weak noise, and it always taking vomit. Whatever it drinks, it automatically it vomiting. So in the first stage, the man is totally dependent upon his mother. Here nurse refers to mother. Then the winning schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, shying like furnace with a awful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Here winning means expressing unhappiness. Satchel means shoulder bag, as we know, school bag. Creeping means walking slowly. Furnace means place where fire is made. Then awful means unhappy or sorrow or sad. Then the winning schoolboy with his satchel. This is the second stage. The second stage of man is schoolboy. The second stage of man's life is schoolboy. Here Shakespeare says winning schoolboy. The schoolboy is not at all happy. He is unhappy. He is expressing unhappiness. Why? Because he doesn't like to go to school. And shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. So in the morning he is going to school with shining face. His mother get him ready. She applied some powder and something in his face so that the boy is very shining. But he is creeping like snail. Creeping means walking very slowly. His movement to school is compared to snail. Snail, you know, it moves very slowly. Likewise, the schoolboy is also going very slowly, unwillingly to school. Unwilling means without any willingness. He doesn't want to go to school, so that unwillingly, walking slow manner, he moves to the school. This is the second stage of man's life. Here Shakespeare directly compares the boys walking with a snail, creeping like snail. So it's simile. So here the poet made a direct comparison using the comparison word like. And then the lover sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. This is the third stage of human life. Now schoolboy become lover, he became young. So in this stage, the lover is sighing like furnace. Why he is sighing like furnace? Because he is writing awful ballads to his mistress. Mistress in the sense lady love. So he is writing poems, that is ballad. Ballad is it's a small musical poem. So here Shakespeare says the ballad itself awful. Awful means sorrowful, sad poems. So he writes these kinds of poem in order to get her attention. In his ballad, the lover is describing the beauty of his lady love. Especially he is describing her eyebrow. He is writing the ballads in order to impress her, but everything comes to failure. So the lover is disappointed, so that he is taking long breath. He is sighing like furnace. Here is also his sighing is compared to furnace. So here the poet uses another direct comparison. So this is also simile. Now I will stop here. The remaining part of the poem let us discuss in the next video, that is part 2. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Infuse.